Hey everybody, my name's Ollie Cardle. I'm a Freeletics ambassador from the UK.
And this is Angelo, ambassador of Freeletics in the United States.
Welcome.
Why I have
Okay.
always a problem with it, man?
It's the same thing. Welcome to the Shaped by Gods podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, we are back. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Shaped by Gods podcast. It's me, Ollie, and my good friend Angelo. We are here for episode 11. Last week we spoke about the first week of our new journeys. Angelo is doing the weights-free gain, and I'm currently doing the explosive strength journey. We spoke last week about how different already Angelo is finding his journey, having given more updated feedback with the new Angelo Mark III. We've had Angelo Mark I, then we had Angelo Mark II, who destroyed Aphrodite, and now we're working on Angelo Mark III, who's just mastering pull-ups 12 at a time.
Pull-ups. Everywhere pull-ups, one at a time.
Are you still getting more and more? Are you still getting more?
No, I'm still getting, yes, I'm still getting some pull-ups, yeah. I got some jumping pull-ups again. But now, the past few days, if I check on my coach, I'm getting more push-ups. I'm getting Spider-Man push-ups. Today I had archer push-ups. So
I love those.
yeah,
I love those.
It's a variety of push-ups the past few days.
I love it. I like it. I think what we tend to do if we're not being led by, so for example, for us, we're quite lucky. We've got the coach there to spread the load, if you like. But if you're not being led by coach, then in your own time, I think before Freeletics, for example, most of my workouts were one directional. So push-ups would just be push-ups, and then pull-ups would just be pull-ups. Just standard version. I think it's so good to have this variety in Freeletics, where you can do standard push-ups all day long, but if you try and switch up and do archer push-ups or one-arm push-ups or the Spider-Man push-ups, are so tough because it's engaging a lot more of the body and the core, especially on those Spider-Man push-ups. How have you found them? Have you been getting a lot of God workouts or mostly intervals?
Yeah, actually, I had today. I had double caron today to do, and I had burpees, clapping push-ups, and lunges, and it was really nice. Actually, yeah, it was really. You should see myself how we were on the Zoom workout, and I was dripping. And everybody was laughing, and it was so much fun. Yeah, it was a great workout. Yeah, double caron and plus push-ups and clapping push-ups. Yeah, it was really, really tough.
That's funny you should say that, because I don't know whether it's because now that we're doing these journeys at the same time, and we've got a few members of the community doing their journeys at the same time, but I feel like my consistency and my commitment has increased since setting that challenge and knowing that we're going through this journey together. I haven't delayed a workout. I've put myself through workouts that I didn't fancy doing. My intensity is going to increase, and I've noticed I've not been sweating as much as this for a long time. Every single workout I'm an absolute mess. My mat is soaking wet. I think so. You had double caron today, which is that's a tough workout. So that's a lot of what's that, 10 rounds?
Yeah, that was it's a 10 rounds. Yeah, it has burpees. I think you start with 10 burpees, then you have 20 high knees, then you go to 10 push-ups, and then you have 20 split lunges, and you have 30 seconds rest.
Amazing. Yeah.
30 seconds feel like 1 second before I'm just the moment I'm coming back. I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at the phone. It's 5. I said, Jesus, whatever.
Exactly. Especially because that is a high intensity workout, that one, because you go from burpees to high knees and then push-ups, and then split lunges are awful. They are horrible things, and they completely sap all your energy. So that 30 seconds rest is literally just, okay, you know, you probably take 30 seconds between the split lunges and the first set of burpees if you didn't have the rest. Do you know what I mean?
You take it anyway.
You take it because that's how long it takes to recover from those rounds. That's really cool. Coaches continue to destroy me constantly. I've just had double gods after double god after double god. It's I mean, I think my first week was very similar to my second, in as much as I had a double Amazona and a triple Poseidon in both. So this week, that double Amazona, I would take 3 times Poseidon over 2 times Amazona any day. That 2 times Amazona, I was an absolute mess. And it is, we've spoken about it before, it's those plank leg lifts at the end of
I
all
would
those
take
leg exercises.
any workout than half Amazona.
Oh, it's so bad. It is so bad.
Yeah,
I think
it's very bad. It's very bad.
It's hard because you destroy. It's basically coaches saying, "I'm going to destroy your legs, and then I'm going to lie you down, and I'm going to destroy your stomach, and your back, and your core, and your mind." That's the thing with those 100 plank leg raises, leg lifts. It's all in your head, and you just. I applied that same technique as we spoke about in earlier episodes, where if I can get to rep 60 without a break, then mentally I know I've done a lot more in that half than I've still got left to do. So that was a tough one. This journey is absolutely destroying me, and I don't know whether it's because of that extra motivation, because we're doing this together, and I feel like, you know, even though for me life has gotten really busy at the moment, but I'm making sure no matter what time. I mean, some of these days I haven't finished my workout until 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m., which is unusual for me now. But I feel like I've been managing a lot more because of this extra motivation of doing it with the group. You know, we're doing it with yourself and doing it with the rest of the community, and we're getting a lot of interaction with the guys. But yeah, I mean, you talk about being held accountable for what you should be doing. This for me, even though people aren't necessarily telling me I need to be doing it, in my head I'm thinking we're in this together, and I really want to get each workout done. So what's next? What's coach throwing at you next? What's your very next Freeletics workout?
I just wanted to mention too that that's the same feeling I have every day, because when I wake up, the funny part is, like, I say, "Oh, this is my coach day," and I say, "Oh, what Oli has today," you know, or what Tiago has, because he started with us, or Damien, I think, started with us, and some other people that don't come in my mind right now. No offense to anybody. And I'm thinking, like, oh, what do they have today? Like, I think Diego has the same journey, I think, right? He does the explosive strength.
I thought he was weight 3 gain. I thought he was weight.
No, I don't know. I think it's either yours or mine. But the point is, well, in the morning, I wake up and I say, "Oh my God!" I say, "We're doing it together," and it's beautiful, because I can't wait every time just to talk about the differences, because my coach saying so many times now, because of the feedback, when I gave me some push-ups and I said increase intensity, and yesterday he gave me Arachne, and today he gave me double Caron with 25 clapping push-ups that didn't happen before on the journey before. So now that I'm increasing the intensity, I say, you can make it more difficult. And it's so funny, you don't know what to expect. And like I said, I was dripping, man. Today it was insane. Just I pushed to my level. Coach pushed me to my level to get to the next one.
Yeah, and you're pushing yourself a lot more as well.
Mm-hmm. I think
being surrounded by the rest of the community that are that you can see are pushing, and even those that haven't started the journey at the same time as us, I feel like I'm taking a lot more from them. And getting a lot more feedback. And obviously this journey now, we're 2 weeks in, and it has been destroying me. It's been so difficult so far, but I've enjoyed that a lot, and I've gotten some good communication today from other free athletes within the Freeletics app about I've just been honest with my feedback. When I put my feedback, I do the bar to say how easy it was, whether it was okay or too hard. And if I've gotten through it, but it was difficult, I'll still say it was okay because I got through it, you know. But I've just tried to be really honest with whatever I write up about my experience with each workout. And if I'm having days where I have struggled with motivation, or I've got to the end of a tough day, I've fed that back and said, this is really tough at the moment, mentally and physically. And what I did say, I think on my last workout, was that I've put PBs on hold. So for now, personal best, I feel like the way I'm feeling and the time I'm able to dedicate to my workout, I'm putting PBs on hold. That doesn't mean I'm doing the workouts quicker. It means that, say, for example, I've been, you know, I get up at 5 a.m. I go to work, and then I get home and I pick the kids up, and then by the time I get round to doing my workout, it's 9 p.m. So by that point, I'm not going into my workout thinking I'm going to hit a PB here. I'm thinking,
yeah,
I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to make every rep count and get through it safely is my priority at that point. It's, you know, make sure every rep is safe. I don't want to get to 9 p.m. after a long day and then start pushing for personal best times, which is going to ruin my form and my concentration levels. So it's just taking a different approach, and by feeding that back into the Freeletics community, it's actually I got a few messages today about, you know, someone even said to me that, you know, this is what they needed to hear today because they were struggling with their motivation, and to know that other people are having the same issues and experiencing that same doubt and that same, you know, the same difficulties, but still managing to get through it. You know, sometimes the honesty of you know, you don't feedback every time that this was great, this was easy, or, you know, the more you portray that every workout is something you look forward to doing, or you know, that you got through it without any issues mentally or physically, then there's a separation sometimes between yourself, or, well, not necessarily yourself, but, you know, what people consider to be the elite athletes and themselves, you know. So I can remember when I first started my Freeletics journey, I could see all these people that have been doing it for a long time, and their results were evident. You could see how much progress they made. And what Freeletics would always do in their videos to show people's transformation is they would show the hard times and when they weren't up for it, and what, you know, when it was difficult for them. And that really, more than anything else I'd seen advertising fitness journeys or fitness programs, you know, when you see these glamorous shots of people in the gym and you know, you can tell it's just a photo shoot. They, you know, they're looking like they're not putting much effort in, but they're still lifting heavy and things like that. For me, it was that hard work that people were putting in and that mental challenge, that was what inspired me. So I think it is important to share. If you're not having a great time with it, or you're finding it very, very difficult to find that motivation, sharing that is just as important. And we find that in our community as well. There's, I mean, the most valuable part in there is when someone's having a down day and people feedback to them that they can relate to that, and that, you know, this is normal, this is perfectly, you know, this is what we all go through. So yeah, that for me, that I've been struggling with that for the first few weeks because of that intensity. I've been pushing a lot harder and finding it a lot more difficult. So I don't know about yourself. And the other thing as well, because the time difference between you and I with the Zoom workouts that we do, I haven't been able to join that. I've been at work for everyone at the moment. So
yeah.
I am missing that interaction a little bit. So it could be quite lonely, you know, when you get back 9 p.m. is your only chance. And by that time, you don't really want to open up the Zoom and share that because you're exhausted. You're dragging yourself through it. So that's not something you want to put on display publicly sometimes. How is your mental approach to this journey so far? I know it's been very difficult physically, but are you finding that it's still quite because it's still quite normal for you? You do your workouts at the same time every day, right, with the group?
Yeah, there have been days I was alone, on the Zoom, because like the time difference it's a huge thing for many things. Like for example, when it's morning to us, Australia is like in the middle of the night, or India is evening and right before the leave work. To you, for Greece, for other countries in Europe, they just, you are at work, that's it. So and the only people that can join me is right before they go to work, is like United States, or the people that they have day off all around the world. It's been, to be very honest, I don't want to say I don't lack of motivation, but where I find the motivation, even if nobody says that, let's say, I've been lucky to work out in the morning and being the host of the Zoom workouts, and it's something that in my mind, it's something that I have to do it. I have to be there, because if one person is going to be there, I'm going to be there for him or for her. And this is what is pushing me. And sometimes I've done it in the past. Like, if I see somebody joins before me, I say, oh, I have to go and I have to do it. But to be very honest, even if nobody's coming on the Zoom workout, let's say I know nobody's coming today, I'm getting excited because of this. It's something new to me, the whole change, because it's the same journey again. There's the different feedback, and I see it as it is personal progress for anybody. Okay, that's 100%. But I am comparing two journeys. It's like I'm comparing to Angelo. And it's excitement, I think. Even if I don't have motivation to do it, to work out, I just want to see what coach is bringing me today. And most of the times I don't check what I have for the next day, because it changes, depends on my feedback, and I forget to check what I have the next day. And it's exciting when I go to the mat. I'm just opening the Freeletics app, I go on my coach day, and I'm like, oh my god, I have arachne today. Or today I see, I didn't know I have double Caron, like today. And I went and I see I have what was it, I had a skill progression in the beginning, something like that, right? I think it was I had straight bar dips in the beginning. I say, oh, that's nice. And I see the double. I say, what is this? I say, Caron. Oh my god. And it was fun. It was it's exciting. But sometimes, of course, it's difficult. Sometimes it's very, very difficult. You have work in between, you have studies, you have the relationship, you have other stuff, you have the house, you have everything. Like
you have life.
You have life, exactly.
I think you've actually just you've just accidentally stumbled on something that I wanted to talk to you about anyway. So you've got a very different approach to me, and I've just found that out. That sometimes you don't even look at what you've got the next day, and you'll surprise yourself. You roll out the mat, and then you open up the phone. Now, for me, that's the opposite. I need to see what I've got coming. I need to mentally prepare myself. So I asked a question on Instagram today, and in the community, about which strikes more fear into you: a workout that you've never done and it's a surprise, so you haven't got that time to, you haven't got that experience or that time to develop any sort of anxiety about it, or a workout that you have done before but is hard. So I couldn't do your approach. I couldn't do it because that I'd need to know what's coming, and then I need to study it, and I need to plan my whole mindset. Obviously, each God workout, I think you approach with a different mindset. So for example, if I was to do Poseidon, I'm thinking upper body power. I'm thinking that's going to be like a weights training session. Whereas if I'm doing something like Aphrodite, that's going to be all out attack and physically very demanding on
everything attack.
Exactly. And then if Metis comes up, you think, okay, right, that's going to be horrible, but it's only going to be 5 minutes. So for you, is that a preference for you to surprise yourself with it, or do you ever plan ahead and you look at that workout, and then you sort of build that tension with yourself. Is that just, or is it just a coincidence that you don't think about it and you just get it done?
That goes way deeper than you think. My approach to this, because in the past I used to stress out, anxiety about stuff and life and whatever is coming tomorrow, whatever is coming the next week, and whatever, anything. And I changed my system. Before, if I was keep going like this and see that it's not working, but I kept posting and it's not working, it was giving me negative results, whatever. I say, what if I do the opposite? So everything came to me, and this example too can work like for many, many things, like you putting everything away from you with that system, you pushing out everything. But this way, if you change the way you're acting, everything comes to you, like positive effects. So the whole thing is, in the past I used to stress out for many things, what is going to happen for this, what's going to happen for this. So I found a solution not to think about it, so until the day comes in. So what I do with the Freeletics, I don't see the codes, and I'm not stressing out. I don't think about it. Whatever is about to happen is going to happen anyway. What if coach gives me triple Helios tomorrow, right? Like we're talking about 600 burpees. If I see it today, when I wake up in the morning, I might say, no, forget about it. I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sleep. So if I don't know what coach gives me for the day, I have more chances to get up, dressed up, go to the mat and see the coach, and I'm going to say, I'm here now.
By that point, you're already there. Yeah.
And like something I say to most of the people when we talk about this kind of stuff and how to improve, anxieties and whatever, is just when you have your goals or your dreams or whatever, and think about it like as a track and field, right? The finish line is over there, but you have to focus on the finish line, that you have to get over there and you have to run it. You have to run whatever. If I put like 100 obstacles in between, if you focus on the obstacles, you're going to focus on every obstacle at a time, and you're never going to see the finish line, and you might lose the vision, because even if you're going to hit like 5 obstacles, you might stop. But if you keep seeing the finish line by you going through the obstacles, you're passing one by one, but you see the finish line, you're going to finish. So that's what I do. It's just I don't see the obstacles. I have my eyes straight to the target.
Cool. As long as one of the obstacles isn't a wall, like a brick wall.
Yeah. We have to climb it.
You've got to get over it, get through it. I think it's such an interesting subject, and I think there's obviously different ways, and it's an individual preference sort of thing. I know I was reading recently a book there's a guy called Ant Middleton. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's the UK, he's a former SAS soldier, and he's got a book called The Fear Bubble. In that, the idea is that the scary situation isn't on you straight away. If you've got something that's happening tomorrow or somewhere over there, that's where the fear lies. So what is the point of being scared between now and the minute you need that, you're in that thing? So he called it the fear bubble, and he ended up visualizing this bubble. So so the danger, say for example, like he was an SAS soldier, so he's been into some of the craziest situations you can imagine. So if he had to go through a door that he knew, on the other side of the door, there's a chance he was going to get shot at and killed. So if the door was 200 meters away, there is no point being in that fear bubble until you are just about to get in. And he visualized stepping into that bubble, and that's when he let that fear take over, and the adrenaline and everything made him act like, but up until that point, what was there was no benefit to being scared up until that point. So he was able to trigger that. And I think it's a very similar thing with the workout. So for me, doubt is removed by action for me. So if I've got this feeling of anxiety and fear about something that's coming up, action is the only thing that fixes it for me. So if I know I've got a workout tomorrow, I need to know what it's going to be, and then I can set that. I can almost position that bubble at the edge of my mat. And up until the point I'm at the mat, I don't need to think about it, and I don't need to be fearful. I don't need to be nervous about it. I'm going to put that fear bubble at the foot of my mat, and the second that's rolled out, then I can enter that bubble. And you know as well as I do, the second you get those first few reps under your belt, all of that disappears anyway. You are in. As soon as you started, you're in. I can remember on Aphrodite Day when you said, you know, you had the group of so many free athletes doing that workout with you, and you were talking, and you're just, you know, relaxed, and you were all talking beforehand, and then it did take a little bit longer than normal to press start, but once you press start and you hit that first burpee, focus, you're in that zone. And all that anxiety and that build up is then channeled into the workout itself. So I think there's so many different ways that people deal with these things and approach them, and obviously there are multiple different ways you can approach it and have a positive outcome, but there are also, you know, times when the outcome isn't so positive, and sometimes it can go on for days and days and days where that motivation isn't there, and then sometimes it is a fear. It is a fear of the workout that you've got coming up, and then you lose track. And again, it's all about mindset. We keep coming back to it every single time. Physically, you can drag yourself through anything, but you need your mind and your brain to drag you through it. It's not, your body doesn't drag your mind through a workout. It's never happened that way around. Your body hasn't started doing burpees and your mind goes, all right, okay, we're doing this, are we?
Can you imagine? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, 1 second. I'm doing the podcast now. You need to stop.
I mean, by the very definition, the mind comes first and then the body first.
Can you imagine? That would be amazing, man.
What are we doing? Dear. I like they used to say, you know, quick, do your workout before you got to do your burpees before your brain works out what you're doing. It's always that way around. It's always mental before physical, and you know, it's a tough one. It is a tough one for a lot of people to take that approach, and it can put people off and stop people's journeys. If you've got a workout, for example, that you've done before and you're not looking forward to it, you can put that day on hold, and you know, and a lot of that is the fear of doing it. But what you got to teach yourself to do is that first rep. Just get that first rep under your belt, and then you're flying.
What are you saying? It reminds me, for every single time when I have to do Aphrodite, when I'm in the very beginning, I mean, the first 30 times, 40 times, because I've done this workout like 60 times, the first 40 times, and before I, you know, before I put this mindset into my, you know, to myself about the obstacles and everything, I used to always taking a minimum of 10 minutes before I press start on Aphrodite. Always, every single time. And you know, I used to, after that, I used to change the whole thing. I say, I used to have the Aphrodite over there on the start, and I used to start making like 1-2 steps, and I say, okay, I have to go. This has to go. You know, either way, I'm gonna do it. So I was pressing start, and like you're saying, probably these moments, my body goes first than my mind, because my hand, my finger goes first to start, and my mind is like, no, don't do it. And it's so funny. But yeah, once you're there, you know, like you say about the soldier and the door, when you're over there, you presetting your mind first for anything. You know, it's not like a go through life, no stress, don't stress, and have no survival skills or whatever. You have to not stress, you know, plan yourself how to approach the whole thing, you know, to be ready for the moment. I'm not telling you don't stress when you have exam in 1 week, you know, the most important exam on your life. Of course, you have to study, you have to work hard, etc. But plan better the whole thing. Like we did with the triple Aphrodite or double or single that day on the event. I was thinking about it for a whole week, but I was preparing myself. Like I was thinking about it, how I'm gonna do, like the time, the breathing, how everything is going to be. I'm not going to have time when everybody's on the Zoom. I'm going to say, oh, wait, guys, a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What is he doing? What is he doing?
1 second, please. 1 second.
Oh dear.
So yeah, it goes great. So mind is over everything.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I think it's something, again, we've said this a lot of times before. I think that's the most important thing you can train. Keeping your body in a good shape is one thing, but getting your mind in a healthy place where it, and I think it's about accepting that it's normal to not be comfortable, and accepting that it's not always plain sailing, and it's I mean, as a species, humans, we have that stress response for everything causes that stress response. I mean, there's a guy called Robert Sapolsky. I've read a lot about Robert Sapolsky studies on this sort of thing, and he wrote a book called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, and it's basically saying that animals have the same stress response, but they release their stress response when they are on the savannah and a lion starts chasing them, and then all of a sudden, bang, everything else stops. So digestion stops, the thought about breeding and mating stops, and they for this split, for however long it takes to get away from this danger, that stress response triggers, and everything is all about escape and survival. But then the second that lion's gone, bang, it's off, and he's just eating grass again, just normally, like as if nothing's happened.
I was just about to say, okay, the lion is gone.
Yeah, back to normal.
Eating the
just nothing happened. Oh,
nothing happened.
Yeah, it's like they don't even talk about it afterwards. Like that.
Did you see the lion?
Yeah, exactly. If that was humans, they'd be like, man, did you see that? That was crazy. They'd be talking about it every day. But humans trigger that same stress response for if your bills are late, or or if you've got an exam in the morning, or if you oversleep for work, or it's just anything stupid like that. So it's such an important thing to train.
And sometimes, I don't want to say most of the times, for things they don't even exist.
Yeah.
Totally. Or they
Totally.
won't even exist.
Yeah.
You're stressing about the best example. I want to say something to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want to say something to you. Like, I want to ask you something. I don't know. Just give me a glass of water. And I'm like, what if Oli says this? And what if Oli does that after? And what if Oli this? And then at the end, I might never ask you for the glass of water. And if you see me thirsty, like dying, I say, man, can you give me a glass of water? You're gonna say, why you didn't ask me before, man? Oh, because this and this and this and this and this.
We have this what if problem. Like humans have this what if this happens, and you go through every single scenario. But that happens with your workouts as well. You go, oh, what if my performance isn't great? What if my form is bad and I hurt myself? It's everything. You have this you run through every scenario, and I don't know what it's like in the animal kingdom, but if you have a dream, you are asleep, nothing's going on, you have a dream, and you wake up and you're the most stressed you've ever been because of something that happened in your sleep. And it's this stress response that is constantly triggering. And like you said, the worst one is triggering a stress result for something that might happen. It hasn't happened, and no one's the only place that is happening is in your mind and in your head, and we get just as worried about that. It's so difficult, especially this day and age. It's more and more prominent now that people have this anxiety and this future fear, scared of what might happen in a minute. I think it's as much as you want to be a decent human being and a kind person, and you don't want to upset people, I think there is a certain skill about not caring about what happens in a minute, that can do you some good, not worrying about it. Don't worry about it. Just whatever happens. The other thing is, whatever happens, you very rarely have control over anyway. If stuff happens out of your control, and even in the past, if something's happened and it was out of your control, it's already happened. And then you have that delayed stress and that delayed, response to it, where you are stressing about something that has already happened and you can't unchange. It's a difficult one to train in your mind. But I think as far as applying that to Freeletics and to our workouts, it's something that should be easier to control, because the main thing is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you start your workout and your performance is bad, it doesn't matter. If you're 10 minutes slower than a PB, it doesn't matter. The fact is you got there, you went through that, put yourself on that mat, and you got it done. PBs are a nice surprise for me. I mean, as much as it does show progress, it's a nice surprise every now and then. But to potentially bail on a workout in case your performance isn't 100%, you know, that you know, I'm going to go back to the classic, and it's such a cliche, but the only workout you regret is the one you don't do.
Yeah, very true, very true. And many things like it can be the business that you could make you a billionaire or a millionaire, or a business that could change people's lives. It's the business that you never created. And fear can kill many things. And fear can
holds you back.
Of course, fear can lead you to many ugly stuff. And you know, just because then we go to different subject, you know, how we grew up in the society, you know, when it keeps us no limited and overprotected. You're learning from when you're a kid. Oh, don't do this because the neighbor is gonna say this. Oh, don't do that because your friend is gonna say this. Oh, don't start running at 6 o'clock because they're gonna think you're crazy. Oh, don't start eating healthy because you know your friends, they're eating this kind of company, you know, the fast food company chain, you know, is gonna tell you like, oh, why you're not eating with us, or many things. Once you train and find your way out of fear and how to express your true happiness, your true self, and how to plan yourself, you know, towards the finish line, everything changes. Everything, like the whole world is just changes.
I mean, obviously it's a balance. Obviously, you know, fear can stop you walking over a cliff, but at the same time, you know, controlling that fear can get you close enough to the cliff to see the view. You know, where would we be if people didn't do stuff because they were scared? I mean, we certainly wouldn't have, you know, we wouldn't have the power of flight. The humans wouldn't be flying. We wouldn't have just, you know, if it wasn't for the people that said, I'm going to fly. Because originally that must have sounded crazy, and I'm sure everyone that's
they call them crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone who's broken down barriers like that was called crazy before they did it, and then we did it, and then, you know, it's not a problem to be a little bit crazy every now and then, and especially if that means facing a fear that's going to progress the species or progress yourself, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I think that, you know, like I said, fear can stop you walking over a cliff, but if you can control that fear and get just close enough to see that view, then, you know, it's worth it every time.
Getting to the top every time. Yep.
You're listening to the Shaped by Gods podcast. Okay, so I put another question to the Freeletics community on Instagram, and I wanted to know, because this is something that I was thinking of, having done double Amazona twice in the space of a week. It made me sort of wonder, okay, which Freeletics God workout do I dread the most? If I see it come up on my feed, and I actually surprised myself with the choice that I thought of immediately, and the one I thought of was Kerberos, which for a lot of people would be considered to be quite a straightforward workout. But what it is for me is then any workout that has holds, so planks, passive hangs, you know, the pull-up hold that you said the other day. I just can't. I just struggle with those. And now Kerberos is particularly bad because it's got a 1 minute plank in the first round and then a 2 minute plank in the next, and then it goes up to 3 minute plank hold in the final round, and then you got to do plank switches as well. For me, that's torture. So we talked about last week when you were doing those pull-up holds and you were shaking, and in your head you were just trying to focus on every part of your body to keep it still. And that's the same for me with these planks. So I put it to the community. I asked which Freeletics God workout fills you with the most fear. You know, which one do you fear the most? And we actually got a huge variety of answers. So I'm mean, we had Snow who said it used to be Helios for her, but now Artemis has taken its place, which for me suggests that she is now really trying to focus on upper body strength, because Artemis has 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, and 150 squats, and then it's sandwiched between 50 burpees. So that's very much an upper body workout. Colin, Metis, and Metis, and he actually said something pretty clever in the feed. What did he say? I've got it on. Let's have a look on my messages. He did an acronym or something like that. He spelt it out. So he said, typically I can't find it now on my feed. There we go. My every tendon is scared. And now he's used the capital M for my, the capital E for every, capital T for tendon, and then the capital S for scared, and the capital I for the is. So he spelt Metis. Metis is obviously, that is notorious for being one of the most feared Freeletics workouts, and it is such a quick workout. I had Tiago said Venus, and I know he's been doing a lot of upper body work, and I think it very much depends on what you're working on at the time. We've got Tanif, fellow Freeletics ambassador, said Zeus, and you know, that's got to be one of the hardest for everyone, right? I think that's handstand push-ups. But I had such a selection of answers. I don't think anybody gave the same answer. So we've had Kentauros, we've had Helios. I know yours used to be Aphrodite. Is it still Aphrodite now?
No, now is Dion.
Oh man, Dion. Yeah. Do you know what? Dion is the same for me, but I've said this before. I get excited about it if it comes up. It's a nervous excitement, but it's such a good workout with the leg raises and the sit-ups. Is it sit-ups or crunches? There always used to be sit-ups.
It's 75 jumping jacks, 25 burpees, 50 leg raises, jumping jacks again, sit-ups 50, and 25 burpees.
It's so hard. It's so hard. I mean,
I don't know, man. I hate the leg raises every time I do Dion, and I have to do. Then you have to switch. The whole thing, it's a craziness. You have to switch from burpees to jumping to burpees again. Then you have to go on the floor, and
it's quite unique. It's quite unique, Dion. As a Freeletics workout. There aren't many that, you know, that some of them are very similar to others, or you get the same sort of feeling. But that one is a unique one because it just blasts your core, and it's high reps. It blasts your core, and it seems to go on forever and ever. It's only 3 rounds, but it seems to go on forever, and you just can't see the end of it. So I just thought it was interesting to see the different things, and I could only assume that it very much depends on which workout has the most exercises that you would consider to be a weakness of yours, you know. So for me, anything with the holds and the planks and anything for holding for excessive amounts of time, that I feel
for me, anything that has upper body, whatever it requires upper body, like push-ups, like Venus, I'm getting destroyed every time I do Venus. You know, man. At the end, my chest is like
so sore.
It's just so sore, and my arms and my triceps. You know, you have to push, and I think Venus is the only so far workout that you scream, you yelling when you do the last reps of push-ups, because you can't push anymore and you have to finish, and it's insane.
That it is unique as well. Again, that's another unique one, because that feeling of pushing something away rather than pulling something towards, it's very different. And I think because you're lifting your own body up, you just feel completely helpless by the end of it, I think. And I like Venus, but only because it, you know, you know me, I like my upper body workouts. I'm probably like most people that used to go to the gym, you know, who used to skip leg day. I mean, for me, the hardest ones for me are always leg based. So Amazona, I can't even begin. I can't even begin to express the pain I feel when Amazona comes up. But yeah, I mean, anything to do with the legs, I struggle with, and I've always had issues with my legs anyway, and obviously that's resulted recently in me getting a couple of injuries that that I don't need to talk about anymore. I've talked about my little injury. I keep smashing the same toe to pieces. But for me, any leg heavy. So Amazona for me is the one.
Yeah. It's an insane workout. I remember my very first time. It's one of the few times, I'm not that crazy for my legs. I when I did the double Amazona, and because I'm doing my workouts, upstairs, and I wanted to go downstairs, obviously, whatever. And when I finished, I was going to the stairs, and I did the very first step, man, and I almost fell. I couldn't even step on it, and I grabbed the bar because I almost fell, and I grabbed the bar. I said, "Oh my God, what happened?" So you should see me how I was going down the stairs after the double Amazona. I was destroyed. I was
on your
destroyed.
face. Oh, it's crazy. It is crazy. And it's got to be one of the most, because it's what's different for me with leg day and arm day. If you exhaust your arms and your upper body, you can walk around all day just fine, right? Your arms are down by the side, but you can walk. If you destroy your legs, unless you're prepared to go crawling around town, or if you're happy to crawl, you got to use those legs, and it's just that they are shaking and it's like jelly. And for me, things like split lunges, they absolutely destroy my legs immediately, and squat jumps. And actually, what I did find is my forwards and backwards motion's fine, because again, like I was saying at the beginning of the podcast today, all my exercise throughout my life has been one directional, forwards and backwards. So if you do lunges, forwards, back. If you do squats, it's a forwards and back motion. So as soon as I get to those Cossack squats or side lunges, I haven't got that lateral flexibility or movement. So they just look ridiculous. They look like Bambi trying to stand up for the first time. It's awful. So we got a mixed bag from everyone out there, and I asked specifically with planks and hold movements in mind, and thinking about your experience with the pull-up holds last week, I thought that I would use that to select this week's workout of the week. So should we go into that? Should we announce this week's workout of the week? Let's do it. Workout of the week. Let's go.
Workout of the week.
Yep. Okay, here we go. It's time. It's workout of the week time. And this week we have selected Erebos. We won't get into pronunciations again, because that's another 10-minute show. So Erebos, let's talk about it first. It's
Erebos.
4 rounds. And this, we chose this one. I was talking about any hold movement. So this has got something that a lot of people I know struggle with. It starts with a 60-second passive hang, which is basically literally hanging as still as you can from your pull-up bar, and then from that it goes into 10 strict toes to bar.
Is that enough that you're hanging?
Because you've already exhausted your grip, and then now you got to do it for 10 reps, and then 40 split lunges. So your core is on fire. And then to top that all up, once you've done the 60-second hang and the 10 strict toes to bar and the 40 split lunges, they want you to bang out 25 burpees, and then they want you to do it another 3 times. So it's 4 rounds in total. This one is up there with my hardest. This is up there with my hardest workouts. And I know, I mean, my PB for that is 19 minutes 50, and I seem to remember, I can't remember which journey it was, but for a while I was getting Erebos followed by Kerberos, and it was just those holds. And I know what coach was doing. Coach was saying, "Oh, what, you can't do holds? Okay, we need to improve on that." So
get some Amazona so you can do.
That's right. Oh, the leg
lifts.
So, have you done Erebos before?
No, I never done it, because because never. I mean, I'm not ready yet for the strict toast bar.
So it's I've spent a lot of time on the pull-up bar. So I, as you know, as you go through Freeletics, everyone starts I mean, some people start having never done any exercise. So, and the beauty of Freeletics is you can start from whatever level you're at, and it will build you up from there. So some people might go into it having done a lot of pull-ups. Some people might go into Freeletics having never done them. So it is a progression. And what I like about it is that you unlock these skills, and it's something that you can actively track and progress with. So I've done Arribos in the past, and I can tell you now that those passive hangs, if you want to make your life feel like it's lasting twice as long, then those passive hangs I would recommend. You know, it's those 60 seconds seem to go on forever. I mean, I think you could do just that first set of 60-second passive hangs. You could listen to a full audiobook, I think, during that 60 seconds.
You can watch a movie.
I tell you what,
60 seconds.
So just whilst we're on those hold movements, I want to know a decent approach. Now, for me, it's all about occupying your mind. When you're doing those things, it's occupying your mind, because the worst thing I find you can do is look at that timer and see 60, 59, 58. And that's how slow it feels. So I'm looking around for distractions, and sometimes I'll look around the room and see, you know, sometimes if you put I don't know, you put a show on or something with the planks. What I can remember doing at one point was I was reading. I was reading because you're on the floor. I put something in front of me. I just needed something to look at that was going to distract me from that time, especially the final round in Kerberos where you're planking for 3 minutes. And I've never held those, by the way. That's something I did. That is something I did want to say. So
Same here.
in the past, I've seen feedback from people who have said, I can't hold a 1 minute passive hang, and that is it. That's it. They give up on that workout. They try something different. It is not a problem to start that passive hang, hold on for as long as you can, drop from the bar and give yourself as little rest as you need, and then get back on it, you know. And it's all a progress. So if you never attempt that 60-second passive hang, even if you manage 20 seconds on and then 20 seconds off and then go back on for the final 20 seconds, that is still progress. And then you can aim to chip away at that rest time. But it is important to go for it and have a go, rather than you know, skip that workout altogether.
It's the same thing for every exercise. You know, if a coach gives you to do I don't know, 10 burpees, and you say, oh my god, I cannot do even one, it's okay, just do one, take a break, just do the second one, take a break. Absolutely. And until you get to 10, and you know, over time you do 2, then you do 3, and but
you can see where it's different in your head, where the time is ticking down and you feel like you're supposed to be with, say, 10 burpees. You do those 10 burpees. If it takes you 20 minutes, you've done 10 burpees, and that is all that coach asks you to do. If coach asks you to do a 60-second passive hang and you can't do a 60-second passive hang, it feels like you haven't done the rep it's asked you to do, you know. So just bear in mind that it's not a problem to hold on for as long as you can, drop, recover, get back on. Especially seeing as in Arribos, you go from 60-second passive hang straight into 10 strict toes to bar, which your grip strength's already gone, to be honest. And then trying to, what's difficult is you've done those 60 seconds, your grip strength's gone, then you get down off of the bar to, actually, what is difficult, you don't have to get off the bar for that, because it's a 60-second
you just
countdown.
It starts the next exercise.
Exactly. So for me,
keep holding the bar, okay?
Exactly.
Keep holding the bar.
Can you imagine that? It's like that's crazy, because you hold the bar. It's almost like you're waiting 60 seconds to do your first rep of the hang of the toaster bar. So it's like, can you imagine being at such an elite level? And I'm sure there must be people that can do it, but these are elite people, hanging for 60 seconds and then hitting 10 strict toaster bar with good form. I think the risk is, once you get your toes to the top of the bar, that's when your grip goes and your legs and your legs are in the air and you just drop.
And you're smashing on the ground.
Yeah, and you welcome the pain. You think, okay, this is better than a minute ago. I smashed my back to pieces, but at least I'm on the floor now. I'm at peace. and then to go to 40 split lunges and then finish on 25 burpees. Those burpees are so hard. But I'll tell you what it does do for you. These are the most relieved 25 burpees you'll ever do, because you're off the bar. You're off that bar, and you're almost seeing that. It's sometimes Freeletics workouts make you appreciate exercises that you normally wouldn't appreciate, because you think, well, at least I'm doing that instead of that, at least I'm doing burpees instead of hanging from that bar. So you get a weird sense of, this is my rest period. These burpees, I'm resting. Yeah, that's crazy.
So, yeah, it's a wonderful workout. Very good workout.
It is really cool, and I'm excited for you to get round to these workouts, because I've selected this week's one, and what you'll notice as we go along is whenever I get to choose the workout of the week, it's going to involve some sort of pull-ups.
He has a bar in it. He has a bar in it.
Absolutely, but yeah, it's well, I mean, I think obviously we always try and play to our strengths, don't we? I mean, I've seen you doing Amazona, and I'm just in awe at how consistent you are with it all the way through, and you just seem to take it. I mean, I'm not saying you find it easy, because obviously you don't. It's a horrible workout. But for you, Amazona is probably the same for me as something like Poseidon, where that's just something I happen to have done a lot, and I know I can manage. And also there's that familiarity thing as well. So I mean, we saw people during Aphrodite Day, they did Aphrodite for the first time, and you could sense the fear beforehand, and it was, I'm really nervous about it, but I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
Whereas you, as much as you were nervous about, you were doing 3 times, but your nerves had subsided to a certain extent because of your familiarity with the workout. You knew the pain that you were going to go through, and you've met it 55 times. You were ready.
That's my favorite punishment.
Dear, yeah. You do it to yourself, man. You do it to yourself. But
always for the better. It's always for the better.
It always is, yeah. That's this week's workout of the week. Arribos, give us your feedback. Let us know how you get on with Arribos, or whether you've done it, or whether you haven't, or whether that's something you're going to plan to do in the future. And what I would like to know more than anything is, I want to know your techniques for mind distractions when you're doing those holds. Because I find
put the TV in front of you.
anything, because it is that way, I mean, if you've got 50 burpees to do, you're doing 50 burpees, and in your head you're thinking about the burpees. But the last thing you want to be doing when you're doing a 3-minute plank or a 60-second hang is thinking about the hang. You need to distract yourself to make that time pass a bit quicker. So yeah, let us know how you deal with that, and give me some tips so I can finally conquer this fear of mine and this weakness. Let me know, please.
please guys,
help me.
Whoever is watching this.
Mama. Dear. Okay, that about wraps up episode 11 of the Shaped by Gods podcast. We've gotten into some interesting things today: conquering fear, facing fear. The fear bubble technique from Mr. Ant Middleton was something that I've called upon before, just before a workout. Let us know about your passive hangs and your plank techniques and your mind distraction, your Jedi mind tricks. Have you read any good books whilst doing a plank? Let me know.
Yeah. How many books have you finished so far?
Personal development all the time whilst getting incredible abs. Yeah.
Core development,
brain development. Okay, so there we go. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your feedback and your continued support. We love you very much and appreciate you all. Thank you, Angelo. I know we've been very, very busy. Our lives are taking off and things are getting crazy, but we'll always make time for each other. Oh. Most of all, we're making time for you guys, right?
It's from free athletes for free athletes.
Exactly. And do you know what? Having a busy life, that's what Freeletics is all about. You know, that does things get busy and progress is made every day, but that doesn't stop you finding time to get your workout in and get in and and touching base with the community. Cool. Thank you, Angelo. I shall see you very soon. Have a fantastic week. Enjoy those gains, enjoy those pull-ups. You got this,
Thank
man.
you, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Oli.